Right, hello everyone, I'm Heather. I'm back for a really quick video. Really quick, really hope it's gonna be quick because I got stuff to do. But this video is basically a book haul of all the books I've been able to glean just from my neighbourhood recently. I think sort of in the past couple weeks, I think like this week and last week maybe, which is quite a lot of books just for that amount of weeks, but please don't judge me. Anyway, my husband's always on about like we need to move out of the city, you know. He's like 10 years older than me. He's like feels like an old man, you know. He's like this urban life, you know, this concrete jungle life is not for us. We need to retire to the suburbs where we have our own driveway. We can like park our car in a space, you know. There's no disreputables giving us eyeballs at the store, blah blah. I'm like, calm down, old man. Who else can say that in their neighborhood they have just like a million places that they can get books whenever they feel sad? Like the road right next to ours is like well renowned in the city for being a charity shop like place. Charity shop meaning like, you know, like the Goodwill or something where it's thrift shops and sort of used items they sell to benefit a charity. But the road just over it's like, you know, charity shop, store, charity shop, grocery store, charity shop, like it's just a gazillion in a row. And also just the other side, there's an actual new bookstore, like a bookstore that sells new books as well, and you can like order them through them because it's quite small. So like if there's a book that you really want, you say, hey, do you have this one? They're like, no, but we can order it. They're delightful. Anyway, so the books that I've got in this stack here have just come from my neighborhood. Never have to leave, never have to get in the car, don't even have to take my bike. Delightful. So the first one I bought on impulse. I'm not ashamed. Actually Charlie at Literary Multitudes, I think, like she did a comment a bit ago on one of my videos where she said that she'd just finished this book. And I was like, oh, I'll just look at it. Like every time someone leaves me a comment that says, oh, I've just finished this and it was good, like I always look it up, okay, and then add it to my list if it looks good. This one did look really good, and then I saw it when I just sort of went into the bookstore to browse, just to browse, not to buy. I was just visiting the books, mind, and I saw that it was there and I just got it. I don't know why, just go with me on this one. Okay, it is called This One Sky Day by Leone Ross. Leonie? Oh, dear God, I don't know. I'll have to look up how to say that. Anyone that knows, let me know. Okay, so the idea is that it's like a sort of Caribbean type island, or like an archipelago of islands, but they're not really the Caribbean. They're like a fake island. It's completely sort of built and like world building and everything. And everyone on these islands has some sort of power. Like, I think one of them can talk to cats or something, and one of them can like, I don't know, is there one that can like walk through walls and stuff like that? And there's something about like a governor who becomes sort of like power mad and dictatorial, and has to be sort of encountered by like a council of like powerful women or something like that. Anyway, I don't really know anything about it. I've only got what is like from the back and the front in the flap cover, and there's not really a lot. It's quite like it leaves a lot to sort of guess. It doesn't want me to know what's going on in it, and I love that. But I'm pretty excited about it. Like I read a review of it on I think The Guardian or something, and it's really good, so excitement. Also, the guy who works in that bookshop that I got this from was like, here, have a bookmark for your daughter. But she wasn't with me. He just remembers her, and he knew that she'd like this. And I know she will. Thank you, bookstore man. I love you. Okay, so the next two are really big, thick monsters. Okay, they're like massive. It's not something I'm super into, but I do really want to read both of these, so I'm gonna have to first get over the mental block of them being massive. But I got these from a charity shop next to Nero, like the cafe they go to get coffee all the time. And I really like this one because I think they've got like a bit of a hookup with a publisher or like a new bookstore or something, where if they don't sell something or they can't quite sell it or something, they'll give it to them to sell on. So they've got a lot of really new books in there and for half price or whatever. So when I went in there, the person that was behind the counter was chatting with their neighbor or someone they just sort of know in the area, and they were gossiping really hard, like these like two delightful old ladies, and I had to sort of like get closer to hear, and I didn't get the whole story, but it was something like one of the people heard from her daughter's boyfriend's best mate that the people next to the woman that was behind the till were having this huge like fallout row in the back garden at 2 a.m. Anyway, I'm just telling you that as backstory to like give you the story of this woman that's behind the till. Like she's cool. I'm into her. So I put these two up there, and one of them's in way better condition than the other one. Like, one of them's obviously new and the other one's been read a couple times. And she's sort of looking at them and she's like, oh, this one, $5.99. Would you pay that? I was like, that was, yeah, the plan. I was going to pay that. And she's like, oh no, but this other one is only $1.99. And I was like, oh, well, you know, the condition on the other one, it's not as good, is it? You know, it's a new book, that $5.99, and that's half price. That's half the price I would have paid for that. Same condition in a bookstore. And she's like, no, I wouldn't pay that. And I was like, it's charity. Fine to pay it. Obviously, I've brought it to the till. And she's like, no. How about I mark that one down to $1.99 as well? And I was like, no, babes, like, it's okay, really. It's for charity. It's half price. It's brand new. You know, I was going to read it anyway. This is just delightful all around. Just, you know, I'm happy to pay the $5.99. And she was like, how about $2.99? And I was like, oh, go on. $2.99 then. You know, she's just like, okay, $2.99. And I got a steal then. Anyway, the two are, I'm going to tell you now. Sorry, I digress for a while. The first one is Michael Faber's The Crimson Petal and the White. Massive, right? And the second one is Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. So this one has been on my list of wanting to read it since about 10 to 15 years ago when I was in university. And one of the people who was a year up from me and was like supposed to be my guide at college just kept talking about it over and over again and kept being like, oh, and this part of the campus is like in this book I like, The Crimson Petal and the White. And we'd be like, babe, we've heard about it. You said about it 9 times. But it did sound really good when she said. I guess it's about like a Victorian prostitute in London, I think. Yes, meet our heroine, Sugar, a young woman trying to drag herself up from the gutter any way she can. Be prepared for a mesmerizing tale of passion, intrigue, ambition, and revenge. Also, it's a BBC special as well, and I find that most BBC specials are based on quite good books, so, you know, that's just my opinion. So I'm excited for that one. The next one being Wanderers, and this one is actually about a weird pandemic, and I think I'm prepared now, finally, to read about weird pandemics again. I had to give it a miss for the last year. I used to like them, like I quite like sort of a dystopian sort of thing, but I had to give them a rest while we were going through our own pandemic and I was having daily panic attacks. No big deal, it's fine. But I think I'm ready again. And this one is about, I think, a sleep deprivation. Or no, it's a sleepwalking disease that sort of runs amok. So this girl sort of wakes up and sees that her sister is sleepwalking and she can't be woken up. She can't talk, she can't do anything. She's just determined to get to a place and the sister doesn't know where that place is and even the girl probably doesn't know where that place is. And they go on a journey through America as society collapses. Everyone has this like really creepy sleepwalking disease. And it's also, you know, massive. So I'm gonna have to sort myself out with that. Okay, so the next one I also got from that little bookshop with that delightful guy at the corner, and also to do with a weird pandemic. Like I said, I think I'm ready. This one is Karen Russell's Sleep Donation, and this is an epidemic of insomnia. So an epidemic of sleepwalking meets an epidemic of insomnia, but this one is less about the epidemic and more about, I think, it's like a company that's able to transfuse sleep. So people that have this disease and they can't sleep, they're able to like take sleep from other people and give sleep to people. But I think it ends up that like the company is like corrupt or there's some sort of like weird thing going on with that. When she meets the mysterious donor Y and baby A, whose sleep can be universally accepted, her faith in the organization and in her own motives begins to unravel. I'm excited. Okay, next one. The next one I got at the grocery store because I hate grocery shopping. Whenever I need to buy actual food, I just die a little bit inside because I hate it there. Also, in pandemic times, it's just turned into an effing nightmare with like one-way systems and like queuing outside and stuff. It's like, if I'd known that I needed beans, you know, when I went past the beans, I, you know, wouldn't have gone past them. And now I have to go, you know, around the whole of the Horn of Africa to get back to the beans because they weren't on my mind when I was actually in the bean section. Like, I don't want to go through a whole, like, effing thing about it. But I always, every time I go to the grocery store, I always stop off at the tiny little book section as well because I need it for mental health. Don't always get stuff, but I just like to visit them. They make me feel better. And I actually did get one this time when I went round, and this one is Small Pleasures by Claire Chambers. It was apparently longlisted for the Women's Prize. I don't think I fully examined the Women's Prize list this year, which is why I don't remember this one. But I'm pretty excited. 1957 suburbs of southeast London. When a young woman, Gretchen Tilbury, contacts the paper to claim that her daughter is the result of a virgin birth. I guess the sort of main character is a journalist, and she's got to go investigate this virgin birth thing. Sounds really interesting. Okay, next one. We're getting there. Waterfalls of Stars by Roseanne Alexander. I think I've mentioned this one before because Sarah at Your True Shelf said that it was amazing, and I have basically, like, she said it was amazing about 1,000,000 years ago, and it's been on my list since then. And I keep bringing it up, like, oh, maybe I should read that, especially when it comes to Dewiethon because it's Wales related. When it comes to like the Wales readathon, I think, oh, I should read that, and then I don't. Again, it's a biggie. Not like biggie, but, you know, biggish. Anyway. This one's roughly about this guy, or this family, I think, that end up taking jobs living on Scomer Island. Scomer Island is like this like nature reserve just off the coast of Wales, and it's got like puffins in it. Oh my god, I desperately need to see some puffins in my life. I think I might take my kid there sometime, maybe like next year. Oh, I should go this year. I wonder if it's open. Anyway, Scomer Island, I'm obsessed. And it's sort of just like about the time of them like living and being sort of, I think, caregivers or whatever for Scomer Island. Anyway, that sounds amazing. Like, I got that in that little bookstore's like Wales section. They've got like a little spinny thing where they keep all their like Welsh authors and like books about Wales. And it, like, not having access to it in the pandemic, it was a dark time for me because it cheers me up. I just love it. Okay, the next one, Dave Eggers, The Parade, roughly Civil War related, but also I think is sort of an allegory for government, really. So it's these two like contractors are sort of flown in to build a road, or not flown in, it's a Civil War, I think. Oh wait, maybe a different Civil War, like a fake Civil War. I don't know. I don't really know since about. Anyone knows anything, let me know. But it's these two guys. They're contracted to build a road to like bridge the two fighting sides after this sort of Civil War. And I think it's less about those two guys and more about building bigger bridges, you know, metaphorically, government-wise. But I don't really know. I've heard a million good things about it. I think I originally heard about it on NPR. Oops, someone's phoning me. Okay. Where was I? I forget. Oh, I know. Okay, so next one on the list is the sequel to Sheets, right? Okay, so it's called Delicates by Brenna Thumler, and it's a graphic novel that looks very cool. It's got like an 80s pastel color scheme going on. It's the sequel to Sheets, which was like a bedsheet ghost. And the bedsheet ghost person haunts this laundromat where this girl, like her mum has just died or something, and she's got to sort of like keep the laundromat afloat so they won't starve. Really grim, but actually super cute. And this is the sequel. I didn't know they had a sequel until I saw it on the thing, and I thought, oh my god, I have to get that right away. Also, my kid loved Sheets, so she'll be pretty excited that I found this Delicates. Like, I found this one today actually, so she's not seen it, but I think she'll be really excited. I don't know what actually happens in this one because the last one wrapped up quite nicely, so I think this is probably a brand new crisis situation that they're solving in the new one. But I'm excited. Okay, so the next one is the one for, I think, this month and next month, like the May-June pick, I think, for Bert's 90s book club, my so-called book club, at past story time. So the one from the month before was not a very popular pick. I personally enjoyed it, but I can see how some people were not into it. So this next one I think is going to be really good. I'm super excited. Loads of people seem to be, you know, excited. And it is Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. And I've read a couple of her ones, but not actually this one, which I think is the first one that she ever wrote, and also one of the most popular. It was made into a show, apparently, that I didn't know about until I think Charlie, again, Literary Multitudes, said that she was watching the show, but then she stopped watching it because it was at a point where it was just so lovely. Like everything was just delightful and sunny and fantastic, and she just knew that it would eventually not be like that, or like it would come crashing down soon or something, so she just stopped watching it, which I can understand. Anyway, also there was a comment, like I think I talked about this one, I like mentioned it just randomly in my last video, and another comment that I got about it was from Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, and she said that her husband actually knows Sarah Waters, so I've pumped her for some light information about what she's like. I love to hear sort of like really commonplace stories about famous people, like what they feed their cat and stuff like that. So she has promised to ask him to ask her for me and to get back to me. So I'll report back when that happens. Oh, sorry. This book, if you don't know, it is about a Victorian woman, I think, who moves to London. An unstoppable read, a sexy and picaresque romp through the lesbian and queer demimonde of the roaring 90s. Delightful. Okay, and the very last one was a complete impulse buy based on the cover and just the random bits on the back. Like I never do that. Or it's not that I never do that, but I very rarely actually do that. Most of the books that I buy, I've heard from somewhere that they're good or someone liked them or whatever. Like I very rarely see a book that I've literally never seen before or heard of or anything and then walk out of the store with it. But this is one of them, and I will show you why. It is A Man Named Doll by Jonathan James. I love the color, like the colors on the cover. Also, there's a dog here. And it's about a private eye in LA named Doll. Like that's his last name or something. And it says on the back here, a stiff shot of timeless Hollywood noir, spiked with black humor and leaving a warm glow as it goes down. I'm excited. So meet Happy Doll, Hap to his friends. He's an LA private detective living a quiet life along with his beloved half Chihuahua, half Terrier, George. He's getting by just fine, blah, blah, until he kills a man. Anyone know anything about this? I feel like it's going to be really good, but I wouldn't mind having a bit more information. Somebody who's read it or heard about it and has thoughts, hit me up. I'm in need. Okay. That's the haul. Actually now that I'm holding them all and I'm physically struggling to hold them because they're so heavy, I'm realizing I may have a problem with the visiting of the books. You know, if I just visited them, that would be fine, but I obviously tend to visit them into my house as well, just as often as I just visit them there. Like loads of people do this thing where they try to go like a whole year just reading books in their house, don't they? And I've had contemplations about that. Like it does give me pause and make me think, oh, you know, I should give that a go. But as new books are coming out, you know, every minute new books come out, and sometimes you just think, oh my god, that book sounds amazing, you know. And I don't know, I don't think I could go a whole year without buying books. Maybe I could like cut myself down to one book a month or something. I don't know, I'll have to contemplate this. But anyway, this is my local neighborhood book haul. If you have any thoughts about any of them, like you like them, you didn't like them, they sound good, you think that there's one similar to these that I might like, please let me know. I'm all about the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye, 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 bye.